We never thought we'd be sitting here again talking about being back at Livbay. And to be honest with you, some of you probably never thought you would see us back here again,
Including us.
But Mike and Shauna are back. And we're not back just to get everybody's business again. We're back to earn everybody's trust again. And so we're not asking you just because Mike and Shauna are back to follow us here, but we're asking you to give us a chance to make Livbay a great company again. What's up, Lashinistas? Welcome to the show. This is the Livbay podcast, where we talk about the ever-growing eyelash business. If this is your first time listening to our show, welcome. This podcast is dedicated to helping you grow as a lash artist and or lash business owner. So whether you work for yourself or someone else, this podcast is for you.
What's up, guys? This is Shauna and Mike Jones with Livbay Lash. Our heart is to share with you our uphill battle in this lash industry and to give you guys a real, very raw version of what things are really like and have been and will be.
Yes. In this episode today, we're back.
All things Livbay.
All things Livbay, which I got to tell you feels a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
In a good way.
How are you feeling, Shauna?
I feel very good. A little bit nervous, but it's just a full circle moment. It feels right. It does. I think that there is just a lot to be said, most of all, a lot to be done. So I'm really excited for this challenge because, like always, Mike and I always crush together. And now it's going to help even more because we have just everybody back. It's not just like us back. It's everybody back together, the team. And so I'm excited.
Yeah. And not just that. I mean, this is pretty surreal for both of us. You got to remember Livbay is named after our kids, Olive and Baylor. It's not some random thing. We weren't just like picking random words, right? For when we originally founded this company, it was, named after our kids. If some of you have been listening to us for a long time, this company has been, we originally started as Sassy Lashes, and then we had that trademark issue and lawsuit, and we ended up pivoting. We couldn't find a name, so we made it something personal, and we named it after our own kids. So Livbay has been through some transformation since we've been gone. Obviously, there's been a series of different owners a couple times now, and we just happened to have a unique opportunity where Sean and I could come back into the fold, bring our expertise, do a lot of things that we thought where we see Livbay going in 2026. And so when we say we're back, we're not back to bring 2019, 2020 Livbay back. We're here to try to make this company what we believe is a vision of we have for the future, and a lot of really great ideas that we have, for what we see going on in the lash industry and things that we feel we can fix. And so very excited for this opportunity. This is something that, I always joke around, call it the Steve Jobs turnaround. You know what I mean? Steve Jobs left Apple. He was kind of forced out, and the company went through a ton of different turmoil and changes, and Jobs was able to kind of come back and bring a lot of new, fresh ideas and fresh things in. But I think the most important thing is I don't want people just to start following us again because we're saying Mike and Shauna are back. We want people to give us a chance to earn your respect and earn your business back, and give us a chance, full circle moment, to do the things that we've always done best, to come back as a great brand, as an educational brand, to come back as a strong product brand, to bring a lot of different things in for you guys, to help you guys grow as lash artists as well. And so we've kind of had our ear to the street. We've heard some of the complaints and things that are out there, and I'm not here to bash or where we're talking down about the business itself, but it's a chance for us to come around and kind of a full circle moment and implement some things that we think could make Livbay great again.
Yeah. And I think that, I probably have a lot more emotion, I feel like, just because I was there present through, the original transaction and just being on the outside looking in and seeing every detail. And don't get me wrong, like there was some turmoil with the company, but there was also some positive changes. I truly believe that. And so with Mike and I coming back in, I feel like we have a lot of unfinished business, right? And it's crazy because, and like how it started was, not to get into too much detail, but it was just like a cold call from the new owner. And mind you, like I never knew who the new owner was. Like, I'd never met him, never talked to him, heard good things. And so it was just conversation after conversation, and it was just an opportunity that Mike and I, we prayed, we talked about, we were sleepless nights trying to make decisions, because obviously we have started Oliver, right? And it's just one of those things where I actually really, really respect, the current owner, right? I respect him a ton. Great business person, no ego, and knows exactly what the company needs. And that's why he called. And that's why we're here. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, there's a good chance. He has a good vision, and it was a good chance for us to align on that vision.
Yeah.
Ego is the enemy. And to sit there and think your ways are the only way, or to let pride get into certain situations, it's the fastest way to go out of business. We are smarter collectively as a group than we are as individuals, and to just kind of spitball ideas back and forth and where we think we could make this industry great again, and where we could make this business great again, it says a lot.
Yeah. So we're excited. So I think we could just touch on probably a lot of questions that people may have, like, what does that mean for Oliver, and what does that mean for Livbay, right? Because obviously we do have Oliver. So Oliver Lash, this is our new company. Obviously it was never a part of Livbay. It's separate from, Mike and I. So Oliver is going to be winding down. So Oliver will be no longer eventually here soon. And it's almost like Oliver has had a baby with Livbay. So we're keeping the Livbay name, but we're rebranding into the vibes, the colors, the products of Oliver. So those of you who purchase from Oliver, we're going to be winding the e-com down. For Tivoli Village, we are transferring our amazing lash artists to Livbay locations. And we will be winding down Tivoli Village, so it will be no longer. And we're bringing Oliver to Livbay. So we're really excited. I am especially excited about this because I love the new vibes of Oliver, and I took so much time putting the color scheme and just the products, especially with UV, together to just make the best product. So I'm really, really excited to merge this into Livbay.
Yeah, and the thing is too, I just want to thank anybody who supported Sean and I with Oliver Lash. It means a lot because you actually trust us. You followed us, so it didn't matter if it was called gobbledygook lashes or whatever we called it. Obviously, Oliver was another play on for, again, our kids, Olive and Baylor. But the point is this: you trusted. Shauna and my reputation in the lash industry. Our reputation with products, services, everything. So we just want to thank you for following us and having that trust. And as far as Livbay goes, like Shauna said, there's going to be a little bit of rebranding, some new color schemes, and a lot better products. I'm not here to bash anything with Livbay. Obviously, Shauna and I started that company, so I do want to say this: we have heard you. We have heard some of the things that people have said with consistency with products and customer service, and some of the things that they feel they've had some pain points with. But we're here to tell you that we're going to fix those things. So I'm not here to sell you and be like, no, we're back, so you must come back. No, we want to earn it. I want you guys to hold us to it.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to be that brand again, that we're going to be pumping out tons of great content for you guys again, educational videos, lots of classes, lots of great things for you. But we're going to be doing this thing, holding ourselves accountable personally for this product. So when you get new adhesives, when you get new UV stuff, it's the same great stuff you were getting from us from Oliver. There's going to be a lot of great stuff we're putting out, especially on the UV side for you guys too, because it's always been kind of our bread and butter. But all I'm asking for is you to just give us a chance and hold us accountable too. Don't just jump because Mike and Shauna are back. Jump because you're giving us a chance to earn your trust again.
Yeah. I am very, very excited about pretty much everything, all entities. I love that we are on the same page as far as the entities and the growth with Livbay. So a lot of investors who we both have worked with for a bit now, they like to kind of pump and dump. And what I love is that he is in it for the long run, and he sees all the growth opportunities that we started. So we've already dove into the FDD with franchising. We're super excited with that. Obviously there's adjustments that need to be made based on, this 3-year gap. Classes, we're ready to launch and go. We're doing out of state. We have an amazing trainer coming back who I absolutely love. She was one of our main trainers. She's going to be traveling. And we are redoing the salons. So I'm really excited for that. We're turning them into like more modern. And of course the products. So I think, just talking about like how it's going to look for everybody is, if you don't know, Mike and I pivot like no other. We pivot fast, we work fast, and we work strategically. And I think that's what I learned going through this entire process, is like how strategic you have to be, especially with products. So one of the main things that we're doing is we are literally going through every single piece of current product. We're doing a huge quality control. If there's anything that needs to be tossed, it's done. And we're going to be merging the Oliver Lash products into Livbay. We're not getting rid of Livbay products necessarily. I know that for the lashes, we are going to be merging the Velvet collection. We're going to be adding our adhesives. The biggest thing is UV. So we are going to be completely replacing Livbay's UV, the glue, the lamps.
Dual lamps.
We're going to be replacing them with our dual lamp. There's going to be a specific quality control with UV, because I think that as a supplier, there's so many things about UV that a lot don't know, and therefore your main products go bad, like the adhesive. And so I'm really excited to just go in there and just make it so much more consistent and better. And most of all, like give that personal touch that I feel like, it's been lacking, right? Because there has been a juggle with ownership. And so I'm just really excited for all of those things to become like a full circle like we used to be, because it's all about like the experience. It's all about the culture. And I'm really excited to bring that back.
Yeah. I just think, for us to come back, it's more of, we had some unfinished business, and there were so many ideas and things we were working on before, everything kind of fell apart. And, I see the vision long-term, and there were so many things we were working on with franchising, with manufacturing, just a lot of great things. And there's so many people that work there still that we hired originally, what I mean, that were like family to us. And so there was a lot of, I don't want to use, for nostalgic purposes, there was a lot of things pulling on the heartstrings, right? Like a lot of previous employees and stuff that we have these relationships with that, we want to see this thing through, and we want to see, these people, face to face with us again. Some of these people, man, I mean, not just through the parties and everything else we've through over the years, but I mean, there's been times where we've been there for a lot of these people through some of their darkest moments too. And so, it's hard not to get a little emotional when you talk about this. It's hard not to get a little sad, because it's something that we literally built out of our bedroom in our house and grew what we grew it to. And, when a unique opportunity like this presents itself, and something that, you birthed right out of your own home, like a baby, it's tough not to want to jump on it. And I just think that it's such a unique opportunity, especially with not only given with where the company is headed, but I mean, I just think we have some really great ideas coming up our sleeve too, that we're getting ready to roll out here real soon, that I think is going to be just revolutionary for the lash industry.
Yeah. I think this is just amazing testimony in reality, just the rebound from everything that we've gone through. If you followed the story and I think this is just like, it's such a testimony for God and what he can do. And
Amen.
Just like the turnaround of things, I'm really excited about that, because I think it's more than just a company thing. This is, we are a faith-based company. This does show what God can do in your life. I think we're just like the perfect testimony for that, as ugly as it got, right? And I think for me, I had to get over a lot of emotion, because obviously I was here present with like, mergers and stuff like that, and, in reality being fired. So I think for me, I had to put my gloves down as well, and also check myself, like, hey,
Get rid of the ego, the pride.
Get rid of the ego and pride. There's a new leader, that took over, and now we're partnering, and, it's just going to be an amazing thing. I'm so excited to not just talk about it, but, Mike and I, we're all about action. And so I'm just really excited to roll this out, and I cannot wait to just be with everybody. There has been, structural changes within the company that were needed based on numbers and the business side of things and growth. And respectfully, right? Because, it is a business as well. So I'm just excited to just get moving and grooving. We've already done so many things behind the scenes that people have no idea. Like, I've come face to face with, like, obviously people I still talk to, you know, when we were still, you know, growing Oliver and everything. And I had to, like, zip my mouth. And I'm just like, oh, I want to tell you so bad. But yeah, so I'm really excited.
It is a pretty crazy full circle moment. You know, sitting here thinking about it, man, it's biblical. You know, just like when Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery and then he was in prison, you know what I mean? And becoming head over all of Egypt, right? And becoming number 2 behind Pharaoh, was able to actually save his family in the future from the famine. You know, and it's like, you look at that story, it's like what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. And when you think sometimes in life, when situations look bleak or look like you're down and out, like life is over, it's crazy sometimes just to be able to watch God do his best work. You know what I mean? And I know there's people out there that would love to sling mud at us or would love to whatever and attack character and whatever. You can't, there's nothing you're going to say, you know what I mean, about my past that I haven't already lived through or hasn't been published. So I don't take it as a personal shot. If there are going to be people out there whose feelings might be hurt or might feel a certain way, and I understand that. But my job is to not take the shame from what happened in this last season and run from it. My job is to take accountability and to be able to show others so they don't make the same mistake and to move on from this. It's all life is. You constantly you run into issues, you fix those problems, you make the adjustments, you take accountability, and you move forward. And I think that's what Livbay really is about. It's about resilience, and it's about being able to grow with the times and change with the times, right? A lot of companies over the years, you see them hit different things and they implode, right? You saw it happen with some of the greatest brands out there. Remember Toys R Us? They refused to go digital and have online toy sales. You had to come into a Toys R Us and the brick and mortar model just went poof into flames, right? You saw it happen with Blockbuster Video when everybody went to streaming, or even when everybody went to Redbox, at the gas station before streaming. I'm just saying, it's adapting, right? It's adapting to the times. It's adapting to what changed. It's adapting to things that make it great. You saw that happen with Apple when Jobs brought back, the iPod and then eventually the iPhone and these great inventions and these things that made the company grow. So I think there's a lot of great things we have as far as evolution goes with the industry and with what we believe are going to really make this a great company again. And I'm looking forward, especially, to not just being lip service, to not sound like I'm a politician sitting here and just telling you really smooth and slick one-liners. We legitimately want to make this a better company again. And I really believe that by us first and foremost coming forward and say, hey, we're taking accountability, hold us to these promises that we are going to make great products and great things for you. And that's the measuring stick, right? And if we can't deliver, then you can say, okay, the heck with this company. But I'm asking you to please put your trust in us one more time and give us that ability to make great products for you guys again.
Yeah. And this was a hard decision. Like, it felt like the right decision, but it was also a very hard decision because we did start Oliver and we're in this, new path and this new company, and to wind it down. So this was not an easy decision by any means, but I know it's the right decision. And so I just wanted to say that because it's not like it was because we had the growth. Since Mike has been home, Oliver grew by 57% because obviously he's, helping out huge with the company, right? And so I know that we could make Oliver go. I totally know that we could. I will admit it would take a lot more time and a lot more work as opposed to just stepping into Livbay and kind of just fixing some things. Because there's so much opportunity. And I think with Mike and I too, with Oliver, it would take that much longer to supply our staff with opportunity to grow. So raises, franchises, and I think that's one thing with Livbay we absolutely loved, is always keeping people in our bubble if they wanted that. So with the franchising, having, Lash artists or anybody the ability to franchise at a lower cost, and just all these things that really hold true. And so I'm really excited for the growth for everyone, right? Because this isn't Mike and I. Mike and I are nothing without people who are our staff and are working with us.
I get 5 promises for you guys that you can hold us to. Okay? Promise number 1, quality comes first, right? If the product doesn't live up to the quality standards, it does not ship. Promise 2, the education's coming back. We're going back to the meat and potatoes of what Livbay originally was. an educational brand. We're going to be putting out tons of content, how-tos, tutorials, podcasts, shorts, everything that'll help you in your Lash journey, right? We're going to communicate. Point 3, we're going to communicate. Promise 3, I should say. We're going to communicate with you. If there's issues with your customer service, I don't want you to feel like we're going to ghost you and that you're not going to be able to get a hold of us. We're going to be there to take that ownership and fix these things. Number 4, we're listening to Lash artists again. We're in the Facebook groups. You know, if you're in the Lash T, you already know. So make sure that you are tuning into the Lash T. We're going to continue to scale this Facebook group especially, but we're listening to you guys. We have an ear to the street. What is it that you guys want? What is it that Lash artists want? And that's what we're doing now. We're no longer just going by what we think will be a hot seller. We're going by what tools by Lash artists that they need to make their job easier and better, right? And Promise 5, we're going to earn your business. We're not going to just run some ads and tell you some slick stuff. We're here to genuinely
Give you a discount code.
Give you a discount code. Yeah, we're going to go back to making high quality products again and earning your trust one customer at a time.
Yeah. I will say, because of like the rebrand, this isn't like selling, but this is what will happen in the future, is because of the rebrand and because of some products maybe discontinued, we're breaking the cycle of all the discounts, and that will maybe break a lot of people's hearts, because I know people really rely on like all the discounts or the BOGOs and stuff like that, and there will still be that. But I think with us really doing a shift and quality control and bringing Oliver to Livbay, you know, there will be like a total blowout sale, like a one-time blowout sale to disperse of some of the inventory that is still good after we go through our quality control of like the warehouse, the entire warehouse. But after that, you know, Oliver's products will be embedded into Livbay. And so I'm just really, really excited about that, because being, you know, as I was a lash artist, I know how critical and how important it is to have your supplies work for you and not against you. And I hear it. Like, I hear it. And I hear it with Oliver too. Listen, we've had issues with Oliver as well. I'm not going to sit here and say we're like perfect. We've definitely had issues. And so I'm excited for this new opportunity, this pivot, and for the future of not just us, but everyone.
Yeah. I want to end with this. If you've left Livbay, right, I understand. If you're skeptical about coming back, I understand that too. We've been gone for a long time, and you know, things have changed. And so all we're asking is for you to give us a chance to earn that trust back. And I think that you'll see going forward that not only do we have a really good vision for what we're going to be doing, but I really believe that the quality of the products, again, is going to be what makes Livbay great. And it's going to be one of those things where you're going to be going, man, these guys really did. It wasn't just lip service. They really did do what they say they were going to do.
I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm just excited. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll have more emotion when, you know, everything else goes down. And I know it's probably going to be a shock to a lot of people. They're going to be like, and there's going to be some people who won't support us just because it's us. And there's people who will support us because it's us. And we had that with Oliver. And all we can do is just move forward, right? Move forward from a lot of things, put the gloves down with a lot of people, and just know that like our hearts are genuinely in it, like they always have been. Regardless of what the past looked like 14 years ago, it was never cross-contaminated in Livbay. Obviously never the dues have been paid, accountability has been made, and all we can do right now is just show proof of, you know, of the new Livbay.
Yeah, Livbay's back, but more importantly, we're going to make it mean something again.
Yeah.
Until then, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.